Listening to BearatNight podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.
Crazy. I have not been feeling well the last couple days.
This is the old man's podcast.
Let's go.
Sponsored by Get Off My Yard.
Brought to you by AARP.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and non-binary, this is the bad blood recap, and this is the BearatNight podcast. How y'all doing? We got everybody here.
We're doing wonderful.
Okay, we got that Dan Bradley. We got Geekfire. We got Chico. And this is the Bad Blood recap, and we here. This is by far. I will top this off the right way. This is by far, surprisingly, one of the best PLEs that we've had in a long time.
Can I just start with just one? It has nothing to do with the PLE, but I just want to start with one minor note. Peacock, count your fucking days. Count your days. It took me 40 minutes to watch this pay-per-view. Okay, 40 minutes. I had work all goddamn day. The show was over by the time I got home. So normally it's like, all right, by the time I get in, I can catch the recap. Espanol was up. I can watch that. English, however, I can only go back to the start of Rhea and Liv. That's it. That's all I can do. So I'm like, you know what? It has to update. My bad. Let me update you real quick. The same damn thing. So let me close the whole app. Let me restart my system. Let me try all over again. No, 40 minutes? 40 minutes? Peacock, 40 minutes? I had to fight with you to get to watch this pay-per-view. I know it's called PLE, but I'm old. This is the old man podcast right now. This is a pay-per-view. 40 minutes? 40?
I'm waiting
for
him to say back
Cuatro
in
Zero,
my day.
because I don't know zero in Spanish. Cuatro Zero, 40? 40? Count your days.
Well, look, here's the thing. The show started so early, so like the late night crew hadn't come in yet, so they didn't know how to quickly bring up the show yet.
But Espanol was done. Espanol was done. It was ready to recap.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
it got prioritized.
I was surprised how early. I was surprised how early it started, because I'm like, oh, so y'all about to do like 2 hours of a filler until the show starts? No,
Right.
No.
It was just
Do
1
you know
hour.
why? Do you know why the show started early?
Why? Because somebody got to sleep. Because I was.
No, it's because on the other side of the country, the UFC pay-per-view was happening, or was going to happen. So, okay, and this doesn't entirely make sense to me, because UFC pay-per-views already start late to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
This show absolutely would have been over before the main card ever started of that UFC pay-per-view. And so I have a prediction. TKO Group will not let this happen again.
Yeah.
It's only happened one time, but they will not let it happen again. And I would not be surprised if starting next year, sans WrestleMania Saturday, WWE pay-per-views go back to Sunday, so they can do a UFC WWE pay-per-view weekend.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind Saturdays, but I feel like it's better with now that we have the WrestleMania thing now, the 2 days. But I do miss the Sundays.
I honestly don't. This has been hella refreshing for me to, like, I get off work Saturday, unless I have a car meet, I can go straight home, watch a pay-per-view. I have all of Sunday now to actually catch up on stuff.
I mean, it's interesting, and it makes for more content to be made for WrestleMania weekend. Because you know how they do Thursday,
it is a big
Friday, the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Right.
There's a bunch of stuff during the pre-weekend, but then it's just like, okay, well, we just have WrestleMania on Sunday, and that's it. And WrestleMania goes for like what, 4 hours, 4.5
8
hours.
hours. It's a work day.
Yeah. It's
But
a
now
work
it's
day.
like WrestleMania weekend. You have that Saturday night where you get like a good amount of matches, and then you have that Sunday night where you also get like those good amount of matches. But then like that main storyline, main event match is basically the ending of the PLE.
Weekend.
And I feel like
basically it
and I feel
caps
like
off the
for them-
weekend. There you go.
And I feel like for them to do it on a Saturday, it's just a nice little just a little stab to AEW.
Which makes it
for
even
sure.
more interesting, especially now that SummerSlam is going to be a 2-night event.
Yeah.
So that should be very interesting to see what matches they're going to have unfolding around that time frame.
I feel WrestleMania and SummerSlam are probably the only two big pay-per-views that of the big four that should be 2 nights. I can't see Survivor Series being 2 nights. I can't see
Survivor Series.
It
wouldn't make sense to have Survivor Series as a 2-night PLE because of the fact that it's just like Survivor Series. The biggest match is the team 5-on-5 matchup that they
Now
really
War
haven't done in a couple of years now. Besides War Games,
to be fair, I'm fine with that. Just give me War Games.
Yeah.
No, mark my words. Mark my words. What's going to happen in a couple of years? I bet you. I tell you, it's going to be Crown Jewel.
No.
2-night event.
No.
No. WrestleMania will be in Saudi Arabia.
I think Dom is right. I think Dom is right because of the fact that they're trying.
I'm trying not to go back, man. Y'all got acting up over here. The battery died. That's how bad I don't want this. The battery died.
No, like
I think Dom is definitely right because of the fact that they're trying to build these ties to Saudi Arabia and kind of just extend that partnership with Saudi Arabia in general.
Store.
Right. Yeah. So it makes sense to turn Crown Jewel into a 2-night event just because look at how hard they're trying to go to make already 2 main event matches that will actually be pretty good depending on who's involved. If it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Gunther, that's going to be a good match.
But look at this stuff. They got a whole museum for the WWE, right? Me and Chico are in Connecticut, right? The WWE is right there, Stanford. Do we have a freaking museum?
Y'all ain't have a physical Hall of Fame.
Honestly, I really was hoping that they would do a PLE in Hartford, at least, considering the fact that they are located in Connecticut. Think about it. A cool ass thing for people to come to Connecticut. Oh yeah, the WWE's there. I agree, but that's what I'm saying. The only way they have to start. You have to crawl to walk, and to walk to run. So I think where they really need to start is
I'm gonna stand. DMX started playing,
and then I'm gonna sit down.
So I think what they should do is start by trying to get PLE events into the capital at least, because it doesn't make sense that, like you said, WWE headquarters is located in Stamford, Connecticut, but they haven't done a PLE in Hartford since Bad Blood 1994.
You know why?
There's no way it's been that long.
But you know what?
It has.
They can still consider WWE to be part of New York, even though it's an hour away. But still, it's that's why they'd be like, oh, the WWE home is the Garden and stuff like that.
Then why is WWE headquarters in Stamford then?
Because it's less expensive than New York.
So okay,
but that's the thing though. If
I raised this. How about this? And then we can get into the review.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Where's somewhere? we can end with that. Where is somewhere you will want to see a pay-per-view, not next year, but in the future, somewhere we haven't been yet to have a major event?
Colorado.
Okay, Colorado.
I think they already been there, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
I think having that thin air will be rough.
They need to. They really like. I'm dead set on this. Like they need to do a PLE in Connecticut. They need to do a PLE in Hartford.
I mean,
if not in Hartford, at least in a major stadium, like whether it's Mohegan Sun, whether it's Boxwoods. Hell, even if it's in New Haven, I don't care. They need to do a PLE in Connecticut.
They need to do one in Disney. Disney.
What you got, Charlie? What you got? Don't.
Okay, first of all,
Disney.
Okay,
no.
So you
Mickey
guys
Mouse, sharpshooter.
So you guys live in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Where the Mohegan Sun Arena is located. Can you help a guy like me out in the middle of the country? How do you pronounce the city that arena is in?
You how do you say it, Dom? Is it Ucanisville? Or Ucanisville? I think it's Ucanisville.
Because I've got long brain and I'll just pronounce it the way it's spelled, which is Uncasville, but I feel like that's not right.
I think it's Uncasville.
Yeah.
But anytime like Bellator will have a show at Mohegan Sun, they never say what the name of the city is. They just say it's at the Mohegan Sun.
You know what?
That doesn't help me any.
Because they're not even going to try it. Because if they butcher it, they already know.
You know why? Because it sounds like a racist name. That's why. Uncasville
think so?
Sounds like something racist.
Like what up, Unc?
Yeah.
Right. So.
But
I was
gonna
say,
if
we've
you
been
go
trying.
There, it's definitely not somewhere that you want to be at.
We've had like a few events. I think there was an NXT in Japan. I would love to see a premium event in Ireland.
Well, there was supposed to be one. There was supposed to be.
That's at the castle.
That was in Ireland.
Scotland.
That was Scotland and Wales.
Well, give it time.
There was supposed to be NXT UK Takeover Dublin before the pandemic hit, because we were gonna get Gunther and Balor, but then the Pandusky kind of ruined everything.
Well, let's get this started. Just get it started.
Yeah,
okay,
we started all right.
Bad Blood started. We had 11:52. Now we're starting. If you guys are watching, listening.
But before we get started, let me say this real quick. This isn't sour grapes, but the fact that Dwayne gets to show up at the end of the main event of Bad Blood and CM Punk isn't even in the main event makes me sick. Anyway, no, not really. I mean, it is what it is. Look, if anybody was ever surprised that was going to happen, stop acting surprised, because Rock already ruined, heavy air quotes, ruined when that picture of him at that high school came out earlier this weekend.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anyway,
I was surprised because I've been at work so much, so I haven't been able to keep up. So when I'm watching the pay-per-view and it's Cody so and so, I don't want to spoil everything just yet, because we're at the start of the pay-per-view, and then Rock comes out. I'm just like, what are we?
Honestly, I forgot.
What are we doing?
I forgot all about it. Like I was all enthralled in with the match. I forgot, honestly. So he could have showed up or not. I'm still into the match and how everything went. But since we started with talking about Punk, that was the first match of the night, the Hell in the Cell.
I have to say this now.
How do we feel about this?
Are you gonna apologize again?
This match stole the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Best show of the night. Best
absolutely.
Match of
the night. And also finding out the producer of this match was Abyss. Oh my! Like,
whoa, Chico, whoa! I don't remember Abyss doing that. I don't remember Abyss doing that.
Nah, that's late night Abyss.
that's dark Abyss.
But find it. That's gonna be a meme. You're like, how you feel it? And you see me, Chico doing that. That's what you said. That's gonna be the gift. But yeah, so Biz produced this match was like makes sense. It makes sense because it's a Biz. But it was a great match. And right off the bat, we got blood. Right, like the first part of the match.
I was just about to say, because like it really tied in to the intensity of the last Bad Blood PLE, which was
like 04?
Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, it was in 04. It was 20 years ago.
Yeah, so it just picked up right where Bad Blood left off, and it was.
I wrote a couple of notes down, just a few notes, just.
Ready to go. Write them off,
on there.
So first off, we started off Hell in a Cell. We started off hot. I feel this was a missed opportunity for both Punk and Drew. The fact we still did not get Broken Dreams, which was another missed opportunity.
Can we just let that go?
No, I will not let it go.
Yeah, Brian, I agree with you. I love Broken Dreams. They're never bringing that song back.
Bring it back.
No,
This Fire Burns could have been also used just for one night. I get Punk.
No.
You paying Living Color personally. I get that. Respect that. Just one night. Give me one night.
Dude,
the fact that
you
Drew
literally listened to that ovation in the beginning of the night, like there's no need to bring back that.
Look,
like
Brian,
the fact that
color is
Brian, we were lucky that Punk came out to AFI at Revolution 2022. We're not getting this Fire Burns.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's
the fact that Drew actually made his pay-per-view debut at Hell in a Cell 15 years ago by one day, and is 0-2. I'm sorry, 0-3 now in Hell in a Cell.
Well, that's the thing. You gotta know, like, the win-loss record, especially for certain things. Like, perfect example. Not too long ago, we were just talking about John Cena. He is a perfect record in I Quit matches, but he has a pretty even win-loss record at WrestleMania. But also has a pretty, like, there are certain matches that they're setting up that is their snafu. Right. So I guess in this case, for Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell is not his match because he's lost to Punk, he's lost to Randy Orton, and he's lost to Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
So,
also, did anyone else notice the little heart on Punk's trunks?
I did notice that.
A little tribute to the first Hell in a Cell match with Taker.
Heartbreak Kid. Yep, I saw that. And I did like the fact that they didn't color the damn cage red.
Oh, I was spoiled.
I'm so happy about that.
We did not get Hate in a Crate. We got traditional
He's
silver.
done miracles for me.
I'm like, save that person with the spray paint, all that trouble. Thank God.
Yep.
That was.
Where do you even go to get red fencing? Where do you get red fencing and red?
I think they vinyl it onto the.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I think they vinyl it.
No, you can't be vinyl it. That's a lot.
What else could they do? I mean, unless you're making it out of plexiglass and then
like I said, red spray paint.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I
was
do
a
appreciate
nasty
the fact.
Claymore on the floor, by the way.
On the steps.
Oh no, on the floor, like the first Claymore of the match. Like I was like, oh damn!
That was pretty rough.
I will appreciate the fact that apparently they had the cell cam that they had for the Edge Balor match, but they never used it. I saw it there. I was like, oh cool, they got rid of it. But then I saw it and they never ever cut to it. So I appreciate that.
It was a good match. Like,
look, that superplex from the side, like, not like it. I ain't never seen someone do a superplex from that angle. Like, oh my god!
Drew McIntyre is the only person who could pull that move off because he's 6'5".
Drew McIntyre is a beast.
He is like gigantic.
Drew McIntyre has shown how much he's come in the time frame from his debut to the superstar that he is now. I think he really hit his stride, though. I genuinely say this. When they made him the face of the company for that time period during COVID.
Yeah.
I feel like he definitely hit his stride and kind of figured out who he was at that time frame.
But it's like,
let's be honest,
he's doing so good that you forgot that he was a good guy for that whole bit.
I didn't.
I don't even think.
Let's be real.
Now,
Punk might have won the feud. Drew was the MVP because Punk was gone for most of the feud, and Drew carried He used social media smartly. He sacrificed big moments for himself for the feud. Because let's be honest, he won Money in the Bank, and then
I'm
lost.
still sour about that. I'm still beyond sour.
We all are, but at the same time, for the sake of a story, to take that sacrifice, honest to God, if he does not get a world title run next year, or even something with some meat to it, I'm gonna be pissed for him, and then bring back Broken Dreams.
And Drew McIntyre.
So this is what I see.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Things that Drew back. The fact that he carried that story, like you said, he even involved somebody. He even involved Jungle Boy from AEW part of that feud, and he ain't get in trouble. Like, that's another thing. But also, the fact that he's like the man. It showed with both him and CM Punk. You could be that guy without having to have the belt.
Well, I was just about to say,
they are a perfect example of these are guys that don't need to have a belt to be the guy, or just to be like the star of the show or the main eventers, whatever. They have main eventers just by what they've done already and what they can. And what shit, and Drew is still learning. He's still evolving.
I wouldn't even say he's learning, sure, but he is like what 36, 37 years old, like
something like that, yeah.
But I feel like he's still not. I feel like he's still like he's at a certain age, but I feel like he's always get to a certain point and then he flips it on us and like we didn't see that coming. He gets to that next. Remember he was like the lunatic person when
the Sky psychopath,
yeah.
He's still got a lot of gas in the tank.
So he has so much more to give us, and this is just one little bit that we're still at.
Chico, you got something to say?
So like I was trying to say is Drew has so much potential and is able to do whatever he is put in front of. Because this is the thing though, and I technically don't see him as a heel right now. I see him as basically that renegade loner that is trying to take out his most fiercest and deadliest opponent. So I don't see him as really a heel right now. It's just he's kind of like that.
See,
you say that outcast right now,
or anti-hero.
Basically, he's like the Deadpool right now.
See, you say that, and I wouldn't be with you until he pulled out the bag, and I'm like, "Oh, we bringing out thumbtacks."
That was petty,
and it was all the praise. I'm this motherfucker, one hater of the year. There's no
that was the level
way
that I appreciate.
When I saw that bag, I was hyped. I'm like, "Oh, we got thumbtacks! We got thumbtacks!"
That would have been interesting. I thought he was bringing out handcuffs.
Yeah, it's thumbtacks. It's real glass, Crimea River. No, it's beads.
I wrote in all caps in my notes, the bracelet. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, whoever thought of that part was genius.
But what made it even better was the fact that we're gonna be petty. I'm gonna take it a whole nother level of petty, and where Punk literally chains up his knee. And before he even does that, shoves a handful of them down his throat. Like, we want to be petty?
And
I'm going to take it a step further.
Speaking of that, they were, like, Drew got busted open twice. And they went from, like, a little bit of blood to, like, that's a lot of blood. That's a lot of blood.
So, Drew wasn't supposed to, that was not planned.
Yeah. So, let's talk about that for a minute.
16 stitches, that one.
It was hard way, which for a minute, I thought that it wasn't until he wouldn't stop leaking. Because when Punk bops him in the top of the head with the toolbox, you see like McIntyre instinctively like put his hand on like near his head. I was like, oh, that's where he bladed. But no, apparently it's checking because his cranium has been split open.
His head was stapled
and then
shut,
he is just gushing. He's
like his blood is red. Like it's red.
His iron is insane.
His head had to be the footage at the end that his head had to be stapled shut. I think they ended up stapling like 30
staples.
And I like to say, by the way, to Ryback talking shit about that match. about CM Punk because you try to be subliminal.
Dude, Ryback is
Nobody
basically
likes you. Nobody likes you.
I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to say this publicly. Ryback is basically the Dick Cheney of the WWE. Basically, he's the outcast. Like, this dude is completely irrelevant because he literally had all the opportunity in the world to become a main event person in WWE, but literally fucked it up from day one. Yeah. Ryback is completely irrelevant. That's why he's on no type of program at all. He's not on any type of line. He's not in any type of card. He's not even in the indie circuit. So Ryback, you need to take your podcast, turn it sideways, shove it up your ass.
I just want you to know, Ryback, I don't trust you to babysit a school full of rocks.
Like, Ryback is irrelevant.
Wait. Hold on. The man said school full of rocks. You need to go more with that.
Go more with that?
Rocks?
Mm-hmm.
What you mean by that?
I wouldn't trust him. I think he would actually drop a rock and it would crack. I don't trust you, dog.
Okay.
I think God dropped you as a baby. I just
right. Okay, for as far as I'm concerned, yeah, like Ryback, he can go play in the street. For all I care, he can go out on whatever.
Talk about a hater.
Beyond
whatever highway, interstate is next to him, wherever he lives, he can just go lay. He can just go lay in the highway.
And I'm even say, like, whoever even bothers to listen to that drivel of garbage that spews out of his mouth on his podcast, you can go ahead and go somewhere dark.
Yeah.
Too.
It is 6 of the most unhappy people you'd ever want to meet.
Yeah, so
basically it's the underbelly of the wrestling community because it's all in all, the match that we had with CM Punk won. It was a great match.
This was the match of the night. Without question.
It was the match of the night. And then we had this match right after.
Nia versus Bayley. All right, before Chico goes in on
garbage.
Before he tears his match apart piece by piece, layer by layer, skin by skin, like he does to Nia. This match and the other women's match.
No, just talk about this match.
Okay. The timing, everyone's timing was just off a little bit, and it could have been saved. There was 4 spots in this match. There was a Rough Rider Bayley tried to do, or Nia tried to do a Samoan drop, and had Bayley gone for the pin instead, Nia, you would have never thought it was a botch. It's like, okay, Nia doing a hurricane. First off, Nia, look. I appreciate the fact you put it. Don't let Chico discourage you. I appreciate the fact you are putting in the work. You are trying your damn hardest. All right, I ain't gonna knock you. All right, you're the women's champ for real. You cream the wing.
Tell them.
You doing everything you can.
Let her know.
Not everybody got chemistry. Y'all tried. Mm-hmm. You tried. There was. It takes 2 to tango. Everybody got off nights. Jordan had off night a couple of times.
Yep.
Kobe had off night.
He ain't lying.
A few times. Steph Curry this year has been just off for him. So
we're off the path a little bit. Go ahead.
But I'll put it back. I don't know if it's lack of experience or knowledge. Had you just like, I fucked up. Pin me to like cover that fuck up. It would save so many spots. And then Tiffany, you come out, and then it's like, well,
what a goddess.
Okay, it can't. You know what? You're gonna do the cash in. The strap breaks off the suitcase. Oh, god damn it. Okay, well, salvage it.
When you're dealing with inanimate objects, it's kind of
Jessica Carr. Hey, shout out to you, girl. You saved it a bit. Also, shout out to I forget her name, but she was the ref of that match for being, I think, the first female ref to take a bump.
Yeah,
to like
it was
get
Jessica Carr. Like, how did you say the referee's name and then you forgot what the referee's name was?
Aviation is a mother. It will.
I realized that too. I was like, was there another referee?
Look, my brain's, I'm firing all synapses right now because I literally only wrote 2 notes for this match. I will say that Tiffy face turn, that shit gonna hit like crack.
Okay,
Are we
when
sure?
you say that moment, right? In that moment where she looked at Tiff,
She
and
rose
Tiff-
up like the Undertaker. And I'm sorry, I laughed so goddamn hard. I could not take you serious, Nia. I love, not love, but like I love your work. But you rose up. First off, why your legs like this, and then you rose up? Like, what was that? What was
she's a
that?
bigger girl, so you know sometimes you gotta get that little.
Like you did that. You know what? I know why you did that. You did that for the freaks online. I know why you did that.
Well, don't forget, she also had the face.
Yeah, and then like it sets those seeds for Tiffy eventually cashing on Nia.
Face, though? Did you see her face? She had that remorseful, like I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You felt bad, real bad for her at that moment.
See, and I'm like, okay, I'm back in it, and then I don't remember she set up the finish. Honestly, use the Annihilator as a signature. Just go back to like that powerbomb you were doing. That's the money. That's the money.
But
use your power.
But they have to let everybody know that Nia is Samoan, so she's got to use all the Samoan moves. It's like every Canadian has to know how to do the sharpshooter.
That is true.
Every Samoan has to do the bonsai.
I was about to say, Punk ain't Canadian, but he tried the sharpshooter.
Hey, it looked better than Rox ever did.
It is true. But I will say, Nia came in that match. She looked good.
She did look good.
That face card is valid.
But we know Chico. Chico's charging up for it.
I'm trying to get my good points in before he messes it up. Her face card valid. I love the night before when Tiffany called Bailey by her real name for a moment.
Pam, look, let me holler at you, Pam. Let me holler at you real quick. I remember you said in an interview that you want to show the legs, you want to show the thigh meat out, you want some gear. Look,
she said she's gonna do some new moves.
Half of every non-garbage man, we want that. We want that really bad, honestly.
We need the thigh meat. We need to see the thigh meat.
It took Rhea like 5 years before they finally let her wear shorts.
That's only because she lost her gear. That's literally
that's the only reason.
Bailey. Hey Bailey, lose your gear one time. No, wait, that sounds wild. That can't.
Are we sure about that?
He said that.
Brian, you're gonna get your privileges taken away.
Yeah, so but like we
so
said,
whatever
I'm about to say,
lawyer uses this footage in court, I have nothing to do with it.
So like I want to say, Pam, I love you and all.
Respectfully.
I respectfully, I hate the Karen haircut. I'm a little done with it now. It was like you did it 2 years ago. We need to let it go. Let it go.
She had the Scott Hall blood
that was cute.
In her head.
That's cute. And I like let one person use that.
I'm still waiting to see the Bailey buddies again.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to happen at Mania.
So now that this is over with Bailey in this, because I don't want to see Bailey and Nia fight again. I just don't. Sure. I'm hoping that the chemistry between Nia and Tiffany will go well because of the storyline. But I'm done with seeing Bailey. Also, they had a moment because we forgot to mention that we had hosts for the pay-per-view, PLE. Yeah. The big three: Naomi, Jay Cargill,
Coca-Cola Combat Club is what he's referring.
Yeah. So and
did you say the Coca-Cola Combat Club?
There was a moment where Naomi mentioned. There was a moment where Naomi mentioned, I'm rooting for my girl Bailey, and then Jay looked at Bianca, and Bianca like, I guess so. She's still a bitch to me, type of thing. Like, I'm still waiting to see that moment between them two have a match. Like, I'm still waiting for that.
It's gonna happen.
But
all right,
Jade is gonna turn on Bianca at some point.
Let's get into what Chico's gonna say mean about.
What was the duration of the match, Squire?
I'm not Squire. I'll look it up real quick. Hold on. Bring up cagematch.net.
He needs to find out the time. That means you got to go into some.
You want that?
So, like, for me,
time? We could talk about other times in the show.
What you got?
The amount of time I had to wait in between matches. Nia and Bailey went 14-12. In comparison, Punk and McIntyre went 31-23.
14 minutes of hot garbage.
Let them speak.
Just pulling out like from Ruthless Aggression, quoting the Big Show when he was commenting on the WWE Spinner title, 30 pounds of garbage, 14 minutes of garbage. The reason why I say that it was 14 minutes of garbage was the level of botulism that I've seen in this match. This is the thing, and in my opinion, Bailey carried this match, in my opinion. And this is the thing, Nia and Bailey have gone, they've faced each other multiple times. For the level of botches that I saw in this match is sad. Especially considering the fact that now, mind you, we talked about this before, where we've seen bigger superstars. We've seen Keith Lee's, we've seen, Drew McIntyre. We've seen big guys, not only stature-wise, but also, if I can finish the thought,
go ahead.
We've also seen some superstars, some female superstars, do some things that are, out there. If you're gonna try something, then make sure that it's well rehearsed and well practiced. Like, Nia does not use any high flyer moves in any way, shape, or form. So it's like, for you to try to use a high flyer move, but this is the thing, Bailey went the extra mile and actually sold it, because she didn't have to sell it and she sold it.
I think that ultimately is probably what makes it the worst. It's like what Brian said about the pinfall after the botch. Right. If it had been Bailey pinning Nia, well, we probably wouldn't have thought anything about it. But the fact that Nia followed up on it,
like everybody get together on the outside of the ropes, waiting for somebody to do a dive, and you got this bunch of people right here, but you got like one or two people just on the side. So when they hit that right in the middle, the people on the side never even got touched. They all
it's a shockwave.
That's what it reminded me of. It's
I will say,
it's just like, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, for that spot, is people are starting to get smart. Like, they'll let it happen and then like walk away and then do some foul stuff. Like some wrestlers some wrestlers are starting to get smart instead of just all of us like here. Like, they're gonna do it. Let me walk away. Let me do some heel shit, and boom, it's like, okay, I got some heat on me. He still got his stuff off. Cool, but let's get back to the review.
I will say, because I think the one thing that we're gonna take the most gruff with is the Rana spot, and there's gonna be ultimately be two reasons why that didn't work. And I'm not just going to talk about the size difference between the two, but also if the internet is to be believed, Nia Jax is like 5 inches taller than Bailey. It's very hard for a taller wrestler to do a move like that to a shorter wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, then why try it in the first place?
Show out.
Hey, Chico, you're asking the right question. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Because this is the thing to me.
But there you go.
I'm 6'2". If I'm facing someone like the Great Khali, then it would make sense for me to do something like that, because he's taller than me.
Yep.
I'm able to pull off the move. But if I'm facing someone like Rey Mysterio, my tall, lanky ass ain't gonna try to pull him into a head scissor takedown.
Imagine if Batista with a Hurricane or Rey Mysterio.
Hey, look,
that shit would look horrible.
Back in the
I
day,
might want to see that. I don't know. I might be leaning more towards chaos. Cause like, I might want to see that.
Back in the day, when we would backyard, I was the smaller guy of my duo. I was out here busting out power bombs on my much taller friend. That didn't make any sense.
No,
I'm the shorter guy. I'm not supposed to be doing power bombs, but like, it was a move that we could do, like we could safely do to each other. And he my
and, I mean, and you get that, you do see that in the indie circuit too.
Yeah.
I think
well, I was gonna say, like, when whenever people are like talking about like finishes and having certain moves as your finishing move, the one thing that always gets brought up is you have to have a move that you can do on anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
That's why, you know, the stunner or the RKO, crossroads, you know, any kind of striking move, you know, Claymore,
or that
the rock bottom, whatever.
Or that move where they do like Randy Orton had, and they gave it to MVP. They gave it to
the worst move in wrestling.
Oh my god!
It's so bad that it's like the best one ever. It's like the best move ever.
I was gonna say,
you can do that with everybody.
Carlito had that in like his first SVR game. He never used that move once.
Exactly.
I think the only reason
they put him in the video game before he had an established finish.
Sometimes, like, we know Nia Jax gets criticism, even before she left. Like, she'll get criticized, hurting people. She can't work. She can't do this. And I think, unfortunately, she tried to prove those people wrong, but the timing just by moments or milliseconds was just off, and it just showed, and it sucks because like now they're just gonna dunk on her. Now at the same time, me being me, if you're gonna shit on me, all right, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do better, find a way, and I'm going to find a way to show out. And I don't think this is gonna be the last time we see her try to go outside of her depth, but I think now we might see her clean it up a bit. Because at the same time, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but bear with me. I don't always like. No. I'm just saying in general. I don't always like clean moves, if that makes sense.
Oh no,
like,
absolutely.
Like Will Ospreay pulling off of her crown, beautiful. Rey Mysterio pulling off of her crown, beautiful. And then like, we know that. I still think about John Cena's Hurricane on CM Punk and how ugly it was. But at the same time, John Cena, 245 pounds, all muscle, jumping up,
rigid,
pulling a Hurricane off in a big, not even a big, well, at what we thought was not a big match, but then became a big match over time. I can see Nia doing that. Not the way John did. Let me be very clear.
I think she was trying. She
would have tried. But this is the thing, though. That's all well and great. But this is the thing. If you know something's like, because this is the thing. It's like for example, if you play, like you play Call of Duty and you've like all those experimental, like for example, when like, oh, we have an experimental weapon or anything that we're developing. Okay, they never unleash any game or actually let's put it like this, any video game, they're developing new arsenal and whatnot. They don't just release it until they get all the bugs out. And if there's still bugs, they work on it. If you know you're not ready to unveil something,
WWE 2K series says otherwise.
Excluding that mess.
I will say this, counterpoint. If that spot was an avalanche Hurricanrana, does that change our perspective?
If it was a clean avalanche Hurricanrana, I would be like, you know what? Kudos to her. She's changing it because it goes back to what I was saying a few months ago. Because I was saying months ago, her moveset is stale. Her moveset is rigid. Her moveset's not even a moveset. If she actually pulled that off, I'd be like, you know what? She's developing. She's changing. She's making a moveset that, you know, she's figuring out what she wants to do. Awesome. It worked out. It would have been dope. But she literally, like, you can tell from even her setting herself up that she's not comfortable doing it and wasn't even ready to do it. And even so much so, what made it look worse was the fact that she flew halfway onto the other side of the room and then Bayley sold it.
She fell to the mat like shit. She hit the ground so it looked like she hit the ground so hard.
Right, and then you see Bayley on the other end.
Bayley had to do a stumble cell. Yeah, she basically like, stumbled her way into it.
What was that? Like, that's the point that I'm trying to make.
Oh no, and I agree.
And there were several different forms of botch. Like even you trying to do a Samoan drop and then botch that too. It's like, come on, you guys have already been in the ring multiple times.
Those are your moves.
The choreography should be it should be there.
How do you,
especially even on your own move set?
How do you fuck up your own moves? They're your moves.
Exactly.
Like
that's the point that I'm trying to make with Nia Jax. Like I don't even think she should be the champion right now. Okay, she won Queen of the Ring. Right. I didn't think she should have won the title you know what I'm saying?
Let's get off of
it's a domino effect. But anyway.
Let's get off of Nia.
I know you don't want to, but yeah.
Because get off of Nia. You don't like when I start talking about it.
And like we got time because like I said, I'll be dying soon. So we got to go on to the next match.
Finn Balor versus Damian Priest.
I'm tired of this.
I think we're all tired.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's what I feel like.
The match was. I will say this.
Well, Dom, that's just too damn bad.
I'm so done with this already.
This match should have been on Raw, but at the same time, I was still entertained with it.
You mean to tell me you don't like Finn Balor's Kanye West mask?
I don't know what that was. Finn,
but the last
time I felt like dog, what we doing? I know you've been adopted by the black community. The black folk and Irish, we've been through struggle together. What are we doing with these wannabe Red Hood, Mask of the Phantasm, not Punisher, what's his name?
You're the
War Machine.
Guy. Okay.
Like what we doing? How can you see out these? Why? And then you talking shit under the mic.
Yo, when he started like hyping himself up to the camera, I chuckled a lot because I was just like Fergal. I was like, Fergal, no one knows what you're saying. We can't see your mouth.
Actually, I just thought about this.
We can't hear you either.
Is he in Florida or Atlanta? Because if he lives in Atlanta, I know he's been around. You know, I can't say what I want to say for monetization reasons.
If I had to guess,
he's been around.
95% of the roster lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like I feel like seeing this match, I'm like, okay, we're doing this match. I know the last time I felt like this was when we kept getting matches between Edge in the Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're doing this all over again. And I'm getting bored.
You know what?
Annoyed.
So I think there is inherently a problem, obviously, when you are already saying that, and this is technically the first match that Priest and Balor had one-on-one. Like, yeah, I know they did the mixed tag at Bash.
Yeah.
And we got Liv and Rhea at SummerSlam, and then we got the mixed tag, and then we got the two singles matches.
Yeah.
For you to say that
was in NXT.
Yeah, for you to say that about the Balor Priest match, like I'm already done, and this is the first technical one-on-one match. Yes. Yeah, we got a problem.
So the problem is, this is the problem. This is the problem. That the whole Judgment Day identity crisis thing, this story is getting stale.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's really saving this storyline is the brother-sister romance between Rhea and Damian, and versus the whole.
Why would you say brother-sister romance? That just sounds horrible.
No, it's a brother-sister relationship. That's a romance.
You didn't have to say romance.
Didn't he say
it's a brother-sister relationship? That's like
we heard the same thing, right? He said romance, right?
Yeah.
It's a brother-sister romance thing. That's not a weird thing. You're just thinking about it in a weird method.
That's what I'm saying.
You're just thinking about it weirdly.
They're the
other way to think.
They're the terror twins, but they're 15 years apart in age.
Brother-sister taboo romance. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a genuine brother-sister relationship. That's it. Now you made me lose my train of thought. What I was saying was that whole Damian and Rhea versus Liv and Dom is the only thing that's saving this storyline, because now Finn is falling into the wayside because it's just like, you know, he's not as involved as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the thing. Now, if it was like the scenario where Edge was in the front end of everything, and then you see his two backup support in the stable behind him, and then you start noticing little things like, Why is this old dude telling us what to do? We're the new talent. You don't see that with Finn. He's falling into the muck of what the Judgment Day is supposed to be. And right now, at this point, if we really want to say, Dom is the one that's running the Judgment Day, because they're showing up in the middle of his matches and Liv's matches. Like,
did you see the toilet paper?
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to say this now. I'm going to say this now. This is the one time where I can genuinely say that I would wipe my ass with Dom.
I will say this: when they announced, when they released the Dom toilet paper, that's a stupid sentence to say. They released Dom toilet paper. I immediately said, if there are not people who throw the toilet paper at Dominic Mysterio, Jimmy Rave style, I'm gonna be very pissed.
That would be so beautiful.
That would be amazing.
Oh my
because
god!
Back
and then
in the day,
embraces it and does just.
Yes.
Oh
because back in the day, in ROH, early to mid 2000s, Jimmy Rave was a super hated heel, and they would do the
amazing. Think about
Jimmy Rave.
That's the thing, though. It's illegal to throw stuff now in the WWE event, unfortunately.
Unless they walk around with a sign like, throw the toilet paper.
Right, yeah.
I know,
they basically got to get clearance to do it.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
If they give, oh my god, I got it. It'd be the one time that Dominic gets a belt, right? And everybody has the Dominic toilet paper. So instead of streamers and stuff, they're throwing it at them and booing them.
Yes. Which needs to happen soon. Dominic Mysterio needs to win a belt soon.
I think
you know what?
Him as IC champ.
Jimmy Uso.
Yes. No. I'm glad we're all in agreement here. Yes,
well,
Dominic Mysterio.
No.
Well, hey, 3 out of 4.
I don't see him with the IC yet.
No. It's just a heel factor. He'll lose it the next day. But
there's no other belt to win.
So hear me out. I would rather see him in the aspect of
how fast he don't give a damn about that match, though. That's how crazy that shit was.
I was gonna say some shit, but like
there was so much potential.
What is there to say? What is there to say about that match?
They could have did so much more with that match.
Finn is so damn good. I love the triple stomps, fit like low key style on the back of your head, your chest, your neck. But then he goes away with one.
More with that match. This is the thing. You could have did an I Quit match. You could have did a tables match. You could have did you could have did so much. You could have did you could even brought back the First Blood.
Sure.
That would have been a great you know what?
Ooh,
First match, First Blood.
I will say this.
Bam.
Brian, you said, there's a lot of things that we could talk about. You also said at the start of this thing, this match probably could have taken place on Raw.
I know. I still stand by that.
You know what I mean? We stopped talking about the match. There's not really a whole lot to talk about. I will say this. I thought Damian Priest's gear looked pretty sweet.
One south of heaven. One. Finn was doing, he threw 5 different coup de grace, and he got one south. Oh my god!
Because he's got to do the Razor's Edge.
I feel like with Damian Priest, he has to have a really good partner. Not saying that Finn Balor's not a good partner for him to wrestle. It's like he has to get that right competitor to bring him out of his shell to do more. Because it's not that he's a bad wrestler. It's just when I watched this match, I was just bored as fuck watching both of them wrestle each other.
Well, that's why the Gunter match at SummerSlam was so good. Is because Gunter made Priest wrestle a different type of match.
That's what I'm saying. It's 2 different guys. They break something out of him. And like I said, Damian Priest is not a bad wrestler. But I feel at any moment of the time, he's going to get himself caught in the ring, the ropes, and then last one.
Yeah, we were talking about kind of the fatigue that we've got with the whole, Judgment Day and Judgment Day Wolfpack scenario here. It's gonna run dry pretty quickly, minus the Liv and Rhea and Dominic stuff, and that's because there's nothing else for Priest to do because his main feud is with a guy who's one half of the tag champions. So what is he gonna get a new partner? Is Carlito gonna turn, and then like Carlito and Priest are like the Puerto Rican nightmares or whatever?
So this is how I think, because this is what I felt should have. And funny thing that you mentioned that, Charlie.
The Puerto Rican nightmares were the Shining Stars. Just said.
That is true. Thank you. Thank you for catching up on that.
Bit of
nightmare.
Yeah. So it's funny you mentioned that, because there's a bit of speculation, there's a bit of rumors and scuttlebutt that they are. It's basically like rumors and innuendo.
Okay.
There's a lot of talk that Carlito might be the next. Will you just shut the fuck up and let me finish the point? That there's a lot of talk that Carlito's next on the chopping block to be excommunicated from the Judgment.
Don't you say that?
Sure.
That's a possibility, but I feel like if they really wanted to take the Judgment Day to the next level, or even if creative actually did something with Finn Balor, they need to bring back the Demon King. They need to bring back the Demon King.
Don't think we need the Demon.
Well, hear me out. Because if they bring back the Demon King, or even he goes from the Demon to the Demon King, that would just make it a whole nother level of, like, for example, The Undertaker and the Ministry of Darkness. Because he took a bunch of people that were like mid to low card and brought them into this organization that was extremely dark, extremely entertaining, and brought a lot of moments that had people like, holy fuck.
I know what that's called.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's like 6.
It's called House of Black.
Yeah.
What?
House of Black probably is the closest thing to the Ministry that we've got in modern day wrestling. Yeah.
God, dude.
I see what you cooking, Chico. I say we bring back the instead of the Prince, and let's keep it with instead of the Demon, let's make him King Balor. Like, mix in a little bit of his real rock and roller from New Japan, and when he went back to NXT for that second run, blend those two together, and now with the experience he's had over the last 3 years now.
You do that? You know how you start that?
Have him win matches?
No, have him win the
game.
That'd be the instead of Prince.
Yeah.
No, he's officially the king of the ring. Like, he's the king now. So that opens up. You want to get that king demon, right there. You get the Demon King. You can have that, because think about he coming out as the Demon King and he get crowned. Like, that'd be kind of dope. I'm just saying, it's kind of dope.
I think the visual of him just putting on, like, instead of like the gold crown, he put on like a black crown, and then just does like a finger gun.
I'd rather see that than that black inside out sack that he's putting on his face.
You look. You know what? We're going to Saudi Arabia for the Crown Jewel Championship, the champion versus champion, which I really don't care for, because this doesn't benefit nobody. Because we're doing
okay.
Before the Bell talked about it earlier today, saying, and Burns said, "This is why I personally want one world champion." I'm like, no, we did that 4 years, and no one got real opportunities. I am fine with 2 shows having 2 separate world titles. The problem is you're gonna put champion versus you're gonna put Gunther, who just beat Sammy, versus Cody. If Cody wins, obviously the WWE Undisputed Championship is the definitive championship, and this world title, it's just secondary. But if Gunther wins, now you've lowered the title that we built this.
But you don't want to think about it.
4-year story.
I don't think that's what they're trying to do. So I think what it is, it's basically like how, if you remember when they did bragging rights.
Yes.
Where you had whoever won the most matches was a dominant brand or whatever. I think that's just what it is. It's just it's a match to really put the competition between the 2 brands to the next level and say, okay,
belt that's lower tier. It'd be the person holding that belt that's lower tier out of that match.
But that person's holding the belt, though. What does that say about?
Well, that just says that this champion is better than this other champion.
That's the belt.
This is also not the first time that they've done brand champion versus.
Oh,
brand
I know.
champion.
Right.
I know.
That's one that,
But the thing with the Saudi Arabia, crown jewel, king, whatever.
Battle Royal Super Slam.
It's just a moniker. It's a feather in the cap of the world champion, whoever wins.
But you know what? Because I feel like
it's basically like the Andre and the Giant Battle Royale, where it doesn't really add any. Title stipulation. It's a moniker. It's a.
I feel like they learned a lesson from a few years ago when they had their belt versus belt. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you want to make this guy strong, but yet you gotta keep the other guy stronger. Then they did what they did, and it made really at that moment that belt it made Drew McIntyre's belt.
It's the de facto top belt. Yeah.
What they need to do is, because this is the thing. Right now, for a while, they need to move away from title unifications because
I don't want another title.
We've had enough of title unifications.
Sure.
They did it with the tag team championships. They did it with the world titles. And then we had that 3-year mess between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And that shit was annoying.
Yeah.
Like genuinely annoying because that title unification crap is annoying. The only time it genuinely is beneficial is if you have those titles being defended on a regular basis on both programs, and they don't have a strong enough tag team. Well, they do, but they're not putting the strongest tag team over to be able to run a title unification run.
Yeah. Speaking of defenses, Gunther then came out and just started shitting on Goldberg. And I'm like, I love this. And then he says, I hope you're a better wrestler than what your father taught you. I'm just like,
Can we just point out one? That boy Gage?
Yeah.
He looked like a Gage. He looks exactly like a Gage. Because that's
Gage
a big
Goldberg.
boy. That's a big boy.
Gage Goldberg has the potential to be.
He's gonna be showing up there soon later. We're gonna be talking about that kid one day. Watch.
Gage Goldberg has the potential to be one of the greatest super heavyweights in the modern era.
And then also he
has the potential.
He's gonna be coming too. I bet you.
You're right.
He has the potential to be greater than his father ever was.
That won't.
I think everybody has the potential.
Look, when Gunther said, "I got 3 minutes," come on, I went.
Let me go back.
He's been talking his shit though.
Oh yeah. Let me go back a minute.
I love it. I love it. It's like he don't need a mouthpiece because you won't think he's gonna say something like that, but he says it he's disrespecting you, but he's saying it in such a manner like.
It's a backhanded compliment.
Yes, it is a backhanded compliment.
I got 3 minutes to kill. I'm like, oh.
Allow me to go back for a minute and talk about the Crown Jewel Championship thing real quick.
It's ugly shit.
First I was going to ask about the belt. Oh, the greatest Royal Rumble belt.
Oh, Braun Strowman still has.
Ugly.
Instead, I get the idea of them doing basically like a super match between the men's and women's world champions. I get that. In CMLL in Mexico, for a long time, they would do a tournament where they would take like 8 or 16 of their champions, and it would crown, funny enough, a universal champion for the year. If they're going to do Crown Jewel and this Crown Jewel Championship, which they just magically started to do all of a sudden, I've always had the idea of what if they were to take all of the champions from both brands and put them in a one-night tournament, and then that's how you crown the Crown Jewel champion.
Well, the problem with that is
you get Gunther, you get Jay, you get Balor and JD, you get Cody, you get LA Knight, and you get the God. And they do, a one-night tournament.
The problem with that is I don't think there would be enough champions for a tournament of that caliber. Not even on the women's side. Because on the women's side, you only have...
You would have to change it up.
And then the women's world titles.
Yeah, you would have to change it up a bit for the women's side. But, I mean, you could still do, a four-woman tournament.
So, in total, how many male world champions are there?
So
how many male champions are there?
If we're counting Raw and SmackDown, it's 8.
Intercontinental, US. So we have that, unless we count NXT as well.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't count NXT because none of those guys are going to go past the first round. You know what I mean? But yeah, you've got the world.
I mean, you don't know that because Kevin Owens came from NXT and they put him over. So
for Raw, you have the World, IC, and the tag team titles. And then on SmackDown, you got the WWE US and their tag team titles.
That's 8.
So
and then you have the NXT champion, tag team champions, and then the NXT titles. So that's another.
So really, you'd have if you were to do all 3 brands, but I'm just talking about Raw and SmackDown because they don't care about NXT.
I don't care. And speaking of belts, shout outs to the new improved design of the NXT belts, the main 2 belts.
I like the old ones.
I like the new. You know what? It's kind of remind me the silver and black. If you really look at it, it really reminds you of the
ECW championship.
Yeah.
Oh, the big Phoenix.
The big Phoenix belt.
That gross ass big.
That was the Mark Henry belt.
I don't know. I liked that title because it was different. It was distinctive. It was dope.
And it was the only belt that fit Mark Henry.
It was the only.
He still needed to get an extender for it.
Yeah, it was the only belt to fit him in Big Show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the WWE.
No, Big Show never had that one. He had the old.
He had the old one. Yeah.
So the WWE.
That bitch looked like a wristwatch on his ass.
I liked how the ECW title looked because it was different. It looked very bold, very in your face, very.
But it looked huge on everybody else outside of.
Well, I think that was a good thing because it was just like, this is ECW. This is the show for extreme championship wrestling.
Like I said,
so why not make it look huge on everyone else? I liked how it looked on everyone else. Like Christian and Matt Hardy when they became champ, I liked how it looked on them.
Yeah,
I thought it was
the belts right now. The CW version of the NXT belts, they look good. I like it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Everybody else, everything looked like Nickelodeon when they started that whole 2.0 thing. So I'm glad we out of that.
Look, I love we shit. I was also some of that shit on 2.0. If we didn't get 2.0, a lot of these stars we wouldn't really have.
I will say, and I've told Brian this off the fact. I've always appreciated the aesthetic of the 2.0 relaunch, and then eventually getting rid of the colors. And to where we are now, because man, pandemic era NXT with the skulls and the wings and the crest and all that, I hated that look.
You didn't like the cage feel?
I hated that.
You didn't want to feel like you was in like the underground?
No, I hated that look. It screamed.
You didn't feel like you was in daddy's basement fighting for your life? It
screamed butt rock to me, and I hated it. The skulls and the wing is the worst part of me playing 2K22. Back when that game first came out, because everything was still in the pandemic. They still had all the pandemic arenas, and having to play NXT in the pandemic with that stupid skull and wings logo, I hated that shit so bad.
All right. So before we got to the next match, we had a promo for the Motor City Machine Guns again. Which I can't wait.
So is that what everybody is thinking that vignette is about? Yeah,
I'm thinking that's what it is.
It's gotta be, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't think it has any.
It's been freaking years. We finally get them.
It can't be anybody else. I'm thinking. I'm thinking that these vignettes are going to build over time, and we're gonna start to see more of the city that's in this first vignette, and then we're gonna see that it's Detroit. I think that's how it's going to go. I don't think it's just going to be a bunch of
we already did Detroit
cars and shit.
Was SummerSlam in Detroit?
Last year, SummerSlam was in Detroit.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, do we go to Detroit this year?
I don't. Let me see if WWE has a Detroit show.
Or Raw.
I was looking this up. There will be a SmackDown in Connecticut in December. By the way, there you go.
Going that. I think I got to put my time in, but still, I
want to go to that if I'm not out of the country because there's a possibility I may be traveling.
Oh, look at you!
So after this match that we had here, after the Gunther situation, what was the match after that?
Liv and Rhea in a match that I knew was not gonna be great. Not because of Liv
it was
and Rhea,
entertaining,
but it's a shark cage match.
It was entertaining to a point. The only thing that sucked was how bad the botch at the end was for a story that we had kind of forgot about.
So first off, Liv showed out a little bit. Rhea, I put Rhea Bloody Ripley. I ain't never seen someone do a front nip up on one leg before, and honestly, just Buddy Murphy, you lucky bastard.
So, Rhea,
I don't know how the door opened. Don't know.
I think he was just like kind of kicking it or messing with it until it just opened.
And then he fell. And I'm not gonna lie, that popped me, and I was laughing because now he hanging out with one leg. I'm like, oh god.
No,
the ref said, no, handle your business.
So I had a laughing fit at that, but I'm not even gonna lie. When he fell out of the cage, it literally reminded me of that scene from Paul Blart Mall Cop where like they're escaping from where they're being held hostage and it's the heavyset dude literally getting pulled up. And then the dude just walks in, he's like, oh god, I wish I had a I'd swing right now and see how much candy fell out of you. I had a laughing fit because that's the first thing that came to mind.
But you know what? The fact that he was able to do that and not
then she started beating his ass with a kendo stick. That's what made it even more funny.
No, that fall though, think about it. But think about that fall. He could have hurt himself the way if he didn't play that shit the right way.
I got scared.
That was the thing. That chain that was wrapped around his leg was keeping him there. But I don't know if it was like, I don't know if it was planned or that was a botch or either way that shit went over very well.
It was funny. It was
hilarious. And
then Raquel
added extra depth to the match. And then there you go. So then Raquel botched the ending by showing up too early.
To be fair to her, the person that was supposed to call her called too early, and it just snowballed effect. And she didn't know where I will say this: they didn't insult our intelligence because she got called early and attacked Rhea. The ref saw this, like call the DQ because like I see you. I can't not say we never said there's no disqualification. I see you. You a big Latino. I see you.
Like, and no matter what, funny enough, in this not real sport, the referee still has to call it like a shoot.
Yeah. So
and
like
this is the thing that's even funnier. It's just like the fact that even the crowd knew.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you listen, you hear everyone. Oh, so it's bro, like that's a really bad botch that everyone in the building is aware that you botched.
Yeah, and then to make it worse, so she gets her up for the Tikana bomb, and then takes it down, and then throws Liv, and then picks Liv up. Liv is like over there, put me over here. They're the couple. I'm just like, oh my god!
There was 4 or 5 botches in that one moment, and all that it was like 4 or 5 botches. Like you could have just went home.
Tango low in the back smiling like, it's not me. It's not me.
Isn't it amazing?
About me the whole time. Look at this.
Yo,
isn't it amazing? After
put in a padded room with a straight jacket.
Isn't it amazing after all of these years?
And then she didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing after
this is the couple? This is the couple. It's like you sound like the third wheel.
Baby,
stop it.
After all these years, isn't it amazing how they can, and I'm not, this isn't just like they as, oh, WWE always messing stuff up. No. Isn't it amazing how after all these years, they can still figure out a way to fuck up an angle that they have done 100 times?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's
Macho
incredible.
Baby is going to be great this week.
They've got, their production has always been insane. And especially over the last couple of years, they've completely changed up the way they've done the production. Mm-hmm. They've got all the bells and whistles, and they've got all these neat little graphics, and they've got all the, they got the LED barricade and the LED apron, and
that Bot City
all this
can happen because of one person.
And they can do all of this stuff. Like everything can be down to the second. Everything can be down to the T as they wrote it, as they planned it out. But somehow, in an angle that they have done 100 million times, it can still get fucked up.
one thing that threw it off for me was like during, and this is me going back, the CM Punk Drew McIntyre match, where they throw in the towel to the ref to wipe their faces with the blood and actually put the Vaseline to kind of keep them from.
Yeah.
Like they actually switched the camera angle out to the audience and then switched it right. Like, okay, we already see what's going on over there. Like,
we already know what's happening.
The point of that?
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. Like even like those small decisions that they make is like, bro, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
And even the fact that these big time mistakes happen on live TV, it's like,
yeah, and also, can we let they need to do something with Raquel and her outfits, man. These outfits is not working.
Look,
I feel like to me it's like what they were trying to do with Tamina for like some times.
But before we continue,
all these weird outfits over the years.
Before we continue dogging on her, first off, congratulations on beating your skin cancer. Welcome back.
Was that skin cancer?
She had a skin condition.
I thought it was a skin disease type of thing, not cancer.
It's in the same. It was in the same realm. From what I read, I could have been wrong.
That was like an alopecia type of thingy, not alopecia, but
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
right.
that. It was something. Like she had welts and rashes. Like it was bad. Yeah. But shout out to you for coming back, being healthy.
It prevented her from doing a lot of things. Yeah.
Like she couldn't work out. She couldn't wrestle. Like But shout out to you for coming back.
I remember she came back.
For that one,
it was like a big deal. Like, oh, cool, she came back, and then like all of a sudden she's gone again, and then we find out why, and she's been gone for a minute.
So it's because of injury. Then she ended up leaving. Then she came back, and then she ended up leaving again because of the whole medical situation. Kind of like how Roman Reigns back in 2019, 2020. He ended up having to vacate the Universal title.
Yeah, that was in like 18.
That was 28. Oh god, it feels like it was dark
18.
Period.
Yeah, I think it was 2018. It was well before COVID.
That was different.
That was during the dark.
It was different.
The dark ages.
But with Raquel though, it's like
the second dark ages.
It's a sucky situation for her. But I just hate for her to come back to a situation like this as their comeback, and it's like, oh damn. Maybe you should have never came back like this. Like, and I thought it was gonna be one of those 3 girls they hired. Like they've been talking about in NXT. I thought it was gonna be one of them, but it was her, and she didn't get no pop,
none,
no one
no
cared.
Pop, no fizzle,
and they were like, "What is she doing here?" And now, come to find out now, she is the newest member of the Judgment Day.
Well, they haven't confirmed. They interviewed them at the start of the show, and then she never said anything. Liv did all the talking. They actually got back in the car and drove off.
Yeah, she'll be part of Judgment Day because that's going to be her Kevin Nash type of thing.
Basically, I think what it was is just like she's in that situation where we forgot about her story-wise because Rhea was the one that put her on the injured list.
Yeah, and they have history. They do have history.
Because of their feud. So Rhea put her on the injured list, and technically, and she hasn't been seen since then. So now we are a few months
Raquel
later.
Was the one that kind of kicked her out of NXT because she took the belt. She she won that last woman standing match that had Dakota Kai get shoved into a locker, which you got shoved into a locker, Dakota. I don't. You also almost 40. You got shoved into a locker, my girl. What are we doing?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
I know your knee hurt. That's rude. That's mean, Dakota. I'm sorry.
Dakota's health is suffering right now. Leave her alone.
I'm sorry.
Okay, can we? All right. So past this match because it made me mad at the end.
Bloodline versus Roman.
Okay.
First off, these two extra ass motherfuckers in these entrances. Cody Rhodes is really black. You got the whole
Did you hear the guy
choice.
at the end horn? Did you hear the extra horn at the end? Like he's almost getting my sound off.
I'm just like, these two extra they're like, we're the main event. We gonna have some main event shit right here.
So
not even
I
WrestleMania.
love you.
Like they had WrestleMania entrances. It wasn't even WrestleMania.
It's bad blood. We're at the end of the year.
I will say this real quick because we were talking about Detroit. The only time that WWE is going to be in Detroit this year is on 12/30, and it's a house show, and it'll be a SmackDown house show because they're doing a Raw that night as well. So we will not get a Detroit Motor City Machine Guns pop.
Damn, tragic.
Unfortunately. So anyway, yeah, main event time.
They might make the cut for 2K25 at least.
They could at least be deals.
So the reason being for their whole huge display entrance, a lot of it I felt like because Roman has history in the city, and obviously, this is Cody Rhodes' hometown. Mm-hmm. The build up to Bad Blood was absorbent. So
you are in my way. In
life.
It's Austin Taker at Fully Loaded 98.
Bitch, that's the deepest. Boy, you on your way. You're the next thing, Bruce.
It's Rock Cena. Survivor Series 2011. It's a tale of all the time, especially for this company because they've done it so many times that it's become a joke. The will they coincide? Yeah, can they coexist tag match? They built a pay-per-view main event behind the concept of, can these two guys who don't really like each other, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend, can they coexist? And those two entrances, it's peacocking. It's quite literally on Peacock.
The only difference between this match is you have a face that is beloved and actually everyone is behind right now. Mm-hmm. And you have a renegade who is trying to reclaim his throne.
Right.
Who everyone is still behind also. So really they're the fan favorites right now. And then you have this pretender and this crazy person that like everyone's just like, bro, like will he or won't he?
Yeah.
Cody it just basically was just a setup for
really
Survivor Series.
It's like went for what shout out to Before the Bell podcast. For what
Definitely.
they said,
love those guys.
Piggybacking what they said, literally it is, Cody Rhodes is your stepdad, and then Roman Reigns comes back home, he's your real dad, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I gotta go with my real daddy. He's here. Sorry. He's
Cody comes out and he's got, the Marietta High School marching band or whoever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Respectfully, sorry. But Roman's like, all right, bet. I see that, and I'll raise you an entire orchestra to play the extended cut of my theme song with battle drums and everything.
And let me just clear this. I ain't never felt so fat in my life watching this man show up on TV. Look at the way he does.
Joe Anawahi hasn't had a carb since 2004.
I regretted every burger I've ever eaten in my life. Every slice of pizza I ever ate in my life. Looking at this man show up. I mean, shut up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know. Looking at him, and I was like, "How you look? How? I want to put this man. I want to put this man near my mama. Okay,
What?
I wouldn't let this man near my mama. In a room, I would like, no, ma, leave him alone, type of thing. The man is just
Can
like.
we
he
mute
should
his
look like
mic,
that.
please?
He's the host.
I'm about to say this is
It's
his
his
show.
room.
Yeah,
He needed a timeout.
yeah.
It's like
I'm
telling
saying,
Vince he can't talk.
I need for Roman to go back to wearing the vest. Okay. I need him to go back to wearing the vest.
You want Roman to wear the vest so you can feel better about yourself?
Yes,
Come on.
I need him to go back to the vest.
Come on.
You know, like put 2 vests on. Goddamn it! I don't give a shit. I'm tired of this.
Put
I'm tired
on
of
a
this.
bigger shirt. You'll feel less fat.
Put a hoodie on.
Nah,
The man
Roman.
I mean, come on, man.
It is fall. It is our season. It is big boy season.
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
he need to go put
It
up.
is.
Gerald
Hey.
Levert didn't die for our sins.
It is
for you
Fat
to
Boy
feel-
Fall.
To feel like this.
So,
Jimmy
but,
Pendergrass
but
didn't
then-
make
but
me
you know what?
songs.
but he came out here. But then Roman would have come out of here with his shirt off and shit, be like, "City boy." That's what he came out. That's why he came out. City boys. That's why he's like, it's still hot out here. It's still hot out here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he did. That's what he did. Ears wet and everything, looking like a Greek god. No.
Well, technically he's a Roman god.
So yeah, I know. Yeah, he's a Samoan god, but yeah. But I'm saying he's half Italian, so me whatever.
It's the hair.
I mean, that could be you too if you put in the effort.
But I'm saying
Samo
though,
and Fabio.
the man looked good. I'm like, I hate him, but I love the guy. But
that could be you too in 6 months.
yeah, I mean,
You get into that
that's a lot of
DDP
time.
yoga.
But we
Holding
don't
back
like
chest
it
out.
all.
You looking like fucking Jacob.
But I would go.
That
And
boy
look,
thick.
and look, Jacob route. I'll go Jacob route because I don't know what he did very much. But I
This
think Jacob did
podcast
that.
brought you in part by Jenny Craig.
Nah.
Jenny Craig's still a thing.
And
Yes,
but
it's
no,
for them. I'm still
It was-
fat. I'm over here. I'm over here trying to be Samoa Joe.
What
I'm
is
saying
it? What
right
is
now.
it? What is it? What was it? The DJ Khaled asked him, "How come you don't want to lose weight?" He said, "Because I don't lose." Why would I do that? Because I don't lose. So
Yeah, we're
but
I
going
got
into
Weight
this match-
Watchers. I'm watching it. Nothing's happening.
going into this match, I would say I watched this match like 3-4 times because the timing of everything that they did was so precise. Like I could not. I mean, you probably might seen a botch somewhere, but I couldn't find one. Like they timed everything perfectly so much. Like from the moment that like Cody is about to like trying to tag Roman in, but from an angle.
And he pulls him from the.
Yes.
I wrote that down. I thought Roman turned. I'm like, oh.
That was the moment, but you see, it was Jacob right there. Jacob, the MVP, Jacob Fatu right there. The moment where Jacob Fatu is doing the moonsault on
And then
Roman, and Roman rolls over, and then he gets. Oh,
boy,
yes.
boy.
The timing of all this, they did so well.
And
I
then
mean,
Cody on the
Jesus.
post, Jacob on the table, and he just looks like Roman, like
exactly.
this man really he loved the game. Cody Rhodes, Cody
Yo,
Raheem Rhodes.
They did this. The timing in this match was beautiful. Like, and it was like, what you gonna do next? It was like everything they did meant something, and they put emphasis on it. Like,
And then
and they even Tama Loa didn't fuck up.
He didn't. Look,
He did.
Tama Loa, he got the belts down the tag match. He didn't
Yep.
fall off the lather. He closed the show. Like he's like, I did it.
Even though I did say,
I got-
I did say,
I did it.
even though I did say
Yeah.
when he did the tag match, he didn't have to take the whole thing off. He could have just took the belt off the thing. But I'm like, hey, a win's a win. Fuck it.
You
You
go
know?
like-
Well, that's the
Okay,
thing now.
stop.
That's the thing now
Hey.
with double title ladder matches. They've got the hook thing
Yeah.
now instead of just pulling down the belts. I don't know why,
Yes.
but
But-
they've done that for like
But hey,
10 years
you know,
now.
with Tonga Loa, he didn't fuck up. It was a good.
Honestly,
It was
it's
good
ever
match. It
since
was a beautiful match.
that Money in the Bank incident with John Cena when he accidentally broke the bitch.
That shit was
Ever
hilarious.
since then,
that was
ever
the-
since then,
That was the handle that broke. It wasn't like there was the.
It was the handle of the briefcase that broke after he popped Big Show right in the face.
Yeah,
he
fucking strong. He's like me.
And then he looked like N64 kid.
And so we get that moment, which is another timing moment too in this match, where there's also I meant to say there's a moment where it kind of solidified why Solo is doing what he's been doing, because he was hitting Roman. He's like, "You lied to me. You lied to me.
Yeah.
You said I was gonna be the tribal chief. You said I was next in line." And I'm like,
"You lied."
That makes sense. That makes sense why he be so furious with Roman about it, because that he feel like you said it. You put me into this place right
on
here.
live TV. Like we all watched that.
And now,
segment.
and now that I'm now I got it. Now you want it back. You can't do that. That's not what you said. So you going back on the word. I love that. And then the fact that he turned. Hey, who that?
I love the fact that like there's so many of these. There's so many in their family. Who is this?
Which one is this one?
And like,
which one is this?
Super King. And he just. I'm like, Jimmy. Why Jimmy? First off, Jimmy jumping for that Superman punch. Like this giant ass child. And like, what? Jimmy.
You know what? Solo probably asked which one it was because he didn't know which brother it was.
Honestly, because it could have been Jay because he was up there. Honestly, it could have been Jay because, I mean, he had every right to. He could. But I feel like Jay is his situation is going to come later.
I feel Jay is like having a fucking mimosa, enjoying life. On the other side, his family's at war, falling apart. He's just like, I'm a Barbie girl. And a Barbie girl.
In your head canon, you think Jey Uso is drinking mimosas.
Yes.
Noted.
All right. Wait.
Noted.
Right. In your head canon, in your head, Brian, I need you to know exactly what a mimosa is. And I don't think Jey Uso fancies mimosas. I've seen old pictures of Chris Jericho's bus, and he and Moxley and the Usos loved the clear stuff.
Tequila.
So I don't think Jey Uso is having some champagne and orange juice.
You know what?
See,
you know what? I'm
honestly, it's been years since like the instance. Yeah, I forgot. That's all.
You know what?
I'm not even like
all these colors now.
No. You know what? Actually, you know what?
He's having a mimosa.
You know what?
Have a mimosa.
You're not far off at all, because me and Chico know. Me and Chico know for sure that they do not drink mimosas. They are not mimosa people.
And you know what? I'm not even talking about like their past.
No, it's just like they actually drink.
I'm just talking about the way that Jey Uso comes off on television. That man doesn't drink mimosas.
That man drink Henny.
Hey, with the people who were in the crowd in Atlanta that night, I'm almost positive he was able to get some.
Yep. Yeah.
Hold on.
But we had that moment. Also the storytelling. You got when everything was all said and done, you see Roman's like, "You came back for me? You came back?"
His facial.
You did the play. Like, he's like, "Yeah, Oos, you my Oos, you my Oos, we family Oos, you my tribal chief."
The Samoan Fast and Furious program.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing.
But then I love like they jumped Cody and then leaving. He's like, "Come on, Oos!" Like this was a one-time thing. What do you mean? This was one time. Come on, you gave him your word. You gave him your word. He's like, I hate this shit.
That's when you know he's turning face. That's when you're like, there's the face moment.
They are absolutely going to do the Brett Owen Davey Boy Hart Foundation angle with Roman and the Usos. They 100% will be doing that. I called that immediately when Roman lost at WrestleMania. Like, that's how they're going to reconcile.
So wait, I got a good question. So when it's all said and done with this storyline, do you think the Tongas are still going to be there? The Gorillas of Destiny?
I think they will be, but I think they're definitely going to just become the Gorillas of Destiny.
Yeah.
And Tama Tonga is going to be on one. It's going to be less of the
Well, look, Tama has been like that for a while, so
Look,
there's that.
I need. It might sound crazy. I need him to grow that hair back.
Dude,
Let
I really wanted to watch a
the
Spanish.
makeup he had, the back
them
of the day.
let them little gray hair show.
Yep.
Let him just start coming out. Guerrilla tactics.
Yep.
What?
Dude,
No, he needed the face straight though. They got
I
to face
will-
straight.
Yeah.
What
Oh
do you
yeah.
think with me?
The ghost face paint. Absolutely. I
And
will
the
say
helmets,
this.
if they had the helmets, the
Red hood.
Red Hood helmets. Come
Hear
on,
me
man.
out.
What do you think
WrestleMania
with me?
in Vegas, we're getting God versus the Usos.
Oh yeah,
I
hell yeah.
booked that shit.
This
Like,
is
please,
this is
A
the
look,
thing
match
with me.
that's been like 10 years.
I know you
in the
don't watch
making.
us. I know you don't watch us, but Dom, he gonna talk to someone that y'all be watching, and look, just let him use guerrilla tactics for WrestleMania. Just let him play the breaker.
No,
Or
So,
somebody.
I'm
okay.
gonna say
Def
this
Rebel will
now,
make their own.
because I
Hey,
feel like
they're changing from Def Rebel. They're not doing Def Rebel anymore soon.
Oh, is it not Def Rebel anymore?
No,
Praise.
they're going with a different production company now.
Praise be the boss.
Yeah, so we're not gonna be hitting more.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Like, their booking needs to get better. Like, this whole, like, the Bloodline 2.0 thing, okay, that's whatever. But their booking in general needs to be better, because if I really wanted to watch a wannabe Spanish dude on heroin, I literally would take a walk down Park Street. Like, I don't like that approach that he's going. Like, I don't like it at all.
First off,
He's not-
Mr. Esposito is offended by that.
Yeah.
Carmen's way.
I'm just saying, like, I don't like that. Like, it's just weird. Like, what are you doing? Like, you look like a chihuahua that literally stuck its tongue in a toaster or something.
Oh, he is angry.
The Bloodline angle has gone on for so long, and there's been so many different twists and turns. I think we can very easily sit here and say it's whenever this godforsaken angle is going to end, it's going to be very weird to try to see these people all go back to normal within this wrestling show, because they've been doing this for so long.
That's
now.
the thing. I don't even think at this point that they're going to even be able to do that, because it's like, now you got The Rock in the mix, and I think we already know where Survivor Series is going to head. It's going to end up heading into a war game situation.
It's got to be.
I feel like there's going to be two. Well, that's what I was about to say. There's going to be two war games matches: the regular Survivor Series match, and then Survival Series tribal rules.
Yeah, like they've got to do tribal warfare. Or tribal war games. I really wish they could have figured out a way to do war games in Hawaii, which is closer to the Polynesian Islands. I think that would have worked out. So, but then they also would have like played their hand. It is.
So this is what I think they should do.
But-
Okay. Hold on.
What?
If they did that, or at least if we can do that, just do one event in Hawaii or close to. I need either Roman Reigns or somebody, Jacob Fatu, somebody to pull the Samoa Joe Survivor Series Slammiversary 05, where he came out with his cousins and do the dance.
yeah,
That shit
haka.
was fire.
Yeah.
The boy, let me get a Haku in WWE. Let them have a standoff in War Games. Have a Haku. Ooh, I want to rip my fucking clothes off just
So
from
you
thought
mean
of
the
it.
thing that Jimmy and Jay used to do in the beginning? When
Yeah,
they
but
did
now
it?
I want more.
Yeah,
I want
like,
you.
bring everybody
bitch,
out.
Bitch. Ooh, I'm hot.
Yeah.
I'm sweating now.
If
I
you've
feel like
ever
Big E
seen
now. Yeah, I want to go.
like
God.
before, if you've ever watched like the New Zealand national rugby team before they play a game, they will do the dance before every game.
And
That's exactly.
And did you see the opponents on the other side? Like, I don't want to do this shit no more.
Yeah, that
Nah,
is exactly
recent
how
years
tribal
now,
war
they'll
games
match that
work.
energy now. Recent years, they'll match that energy. I'm like, oh yeah, I want violence. Y'all about to run through each other. That's crazy. Yeah.
So if we want to have a tribal warfare match,
Yes.
I think it's better that we do it the right way. But we rename this match. I mean, rename the whole thing, but we still use the same structure.
Yeah.
The Punjabi prison match.
No,
but we called it the
No.
tribal prison match.
Yeah.
Because the Usos penitentiary, whole thing. Come on, it can work.
Leave.
Got all that
a
bamboo.
classic-
All that bamboo
No.
they had made. All that bamboo.
No,
I know you
they
said
already.
classic. That ain't no class. That match ain't got no hits. That match ain't.
I don't know. I liked that match between Batista and the Great Khali. One and done. That was a great match. It was interesting concept, but they brought it back for Randy versus
They've had it 3 times,
Jinder
and
Mahal.
all 3 have been terrible.
Jinder Mahal. So I just don't.
They
think
brought
that-
back the Battleground show.
You
for
notice
that
they never
match.
put that in the game. They never put that game, the Punjabi prison
Nope.
match.
Because it was
That on-
trash.
There's been like 4 Punjabi prison matches.
There's
And he never-
Undertaker and Khali. I think Undertaker and Big Show.
It wasn't even Undertaker and Khali.
It wasn't
No.
Undertaker.
Big Show.
They had to put because Khali got sick.
Taker
they
and
had to
Khali
change it.
never had that match.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but then they had to switch it with Big Show.
I think there's actually only been 3. I think it was
It's
Taker,
only been
Big
three.
Show,
It's
Batista,
only been
Khali,
3.
and Orton Mahal.
Yeah,
Right, and Batista and Khali was the best one out of those 3. And
Yeah.
that's not saying much.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's really not.
Yeah, because it was supposed to happen at the 06 Bash, and then elevated liver enzymes fucked up the whole card.
Like that match is.
But yeah, I think Tribal War Games, Roman, the Usos, and a 4th, maybe Zilla. Maybe
Zilla Fatu's on his way to
maybe,
WWE soon.
Hikuleo.
No, leave that
I guess,
man
well, I
alone.
guess maybe Hikuleo
He's not
would
there
probably
yet.
join solo.
Let that man
let him
like,
cook by
get
himself.
more experience, please. Everybody want to see him. Like, no, that's y'all gonna literally turn on him like y'all turn on Solo.
But
Like,
you don't understand, Brian.
Solo
Zilla
No,
can
no, this
do
is what I will
Superman,
say,
Samoan Spike.
This is what I will say.
I mean, it's lit.
No, I will say this. From like 3 years ago, I remember. I think it was 3 years. Yeah, during COVID and stuff, watching matches with Jacob and Solo. Well, back then he was the problem at the time. Watching those matches, seeing him together, like how to wrestling and everything, and they were still earning their stripes and stuff, and doing the indie stuff, and like seeing those matches then, and to fast forward to now, to see both of these guys in the main event of a tag match together, like teaming together, like they was doing in the indie circuit, while their cousins and stuff, like the doing the bloodline thing and everything, and now to get into the fold and to the main roster, that's pretty fucking dope. Honestly, really thinking it's really. I'm really happy for both of them to be at this point, because especially like Solo, it could have went either way while he was in NXT. But the fact that they brought him up and it looked scary because he got there early. He was still new, but now he's jumping into this role right now as being this character, being the new tribal chief, or however we feel, looking like Theodore and shit.
Speaking of knowing your
really
roles,
he's
at
done
the end
really
of
good.
this match, The Rock returned. Which, can someone tell me what?
Oh, I
What
think I
the
know what
fuck
it
does
means.
that
I know what it
mean, man?
means. I know what it means. 1, you lost the belt at WrestleMania. 2, now you want to team with this sucker. And then 3, now you want to go help him get his ass, from getting his ass beat? No. And now I'm showing. Now I'm back. Now I got to tell you what to do.
Now you excommunicado?
Yep. Because now think about it. If you look at it, somebody like The Rock, somebody like Rikishi, they are the elders now. Because the Samoan, the Rock Samoans are gone. So somebody like The Rock, they moved up in rank now. So they have say.
I really hope they don't pull, like they mention your father is not here now. And I might punch you in the mouth. I might punch you.
I don't think they go.
I don't
I
think
hope
we'll
they
have to
don't.
worry. Yeah,
I hope they don't.
I don't think
Because
we'll have to
especially
worry
considering
about
it happened less than It's been less than not even what? It's been
2
barely
months.
6 months.
No,
Yeah.
they just died not too long. Like,
Sika
been
just
like
passed away
2
like maybe 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah. So it's
Like
like
a
passed
heart
away
rate?
earlier this year.
was it? How it's been that long between the both? Like,
Yeah.
separate?
Yeah,
Within
I
the
think
same-
they,
I
I
mean,
think
within
they
the same
passed.
year.
They
Within the
passed
same
within
year.
they passed within like 4 or 5 months of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sika just passed away. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any like negative heat drawing mentions of the passing of Afa and Sika, because that's gonna hit too close to home to everybody involved.
Yeah.
And because those guys are such a close knit group, they're not gonna let that go. Like they're not gonna no, because look, there's a reason why at that WrestleMania kickoff earlier this year, Rock had this gigantic PowerPoint presentation of the Anawahi Fatu family tree.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, oh, hey, Roman, how do you feel now that Daddy died? You know, like they're not going to like.
And
not
only the Wild ones, you know, by blood, whatever. They have wrestlers that they train all the way to this day, just present day, that they have that they, you know, like from years ago to now, like, you know, you have somebody like, what is it, like Samoa Joe, somebody like even John Cena, he was at their school, you know, Batista was there.
Alpha and Sika were training people.
Yeah.
Still, as of this year, when they both passed, like, yeah, they've had a school for years.
To this day, yeah. And I mean, so it's like, I don't think they should, will, but I don't think they should. The only reason they probably would say some shit like that is if Vince McMahon was in charge.
Oh, he would try to do
because
something.
Vince was around when they used Charlotte's brother being killed.
Yeah.
Into that angle with her and Paige.
Then bringing up Reed's death was just
so
ridiculous.
that was the Vince McMahon.
But then, at the same time, that goes all the way back. You know, here more deep cuts. You know, when Eddie passed, and they had Orton talk to Ray and be like, "Oh, well, Eddie's not up there. Eddie's down there. And it's like,
in hell. Like,
come on. Like,
but once again, that's something that
Eddie literally passed 3 months before that.
So it just really just shows how the level of creative has changed, and even just so much the span of a year with Triple H taking over creative, because even just like the fact that, you know, and again, Vince McMahon, you know, despite everything that he's done in his shortcomings, had brought us a lot of entertaining moments, but there have been points where like he put himself as that overarching villain that I felt like was too much. Like perfect example, him saying the N-word in front of 2 black people.
Tell me, like, he did not just say that. Tell me he didn't say that.
I cannot believe Booker would have said yes to that. Knowing that 10 years before that, he also slipped up on pay-per-view, and he has talked about how he has regretted that ever since.
To this day.
To this day. To the point where, like, I don't even think Book uses the word.
Nah.
Like,
Shucky Ducky Quack Quack is what he just said.
This is true. And doing ad-libs. And
I
doing
like
ad-libs.
Man.
Trick's music.
Have you been listening to him on commentary on NXT? Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so that's the time, guys. So, that was the Bad Blood recap. That you guys know, because it's getting time. It's that time.
Yeah. Cody and Roman won.
Yes.
Obvious.
By the way,
Obviously.
if you didn't know, if you couldn't have figured it out,
obviously, and he needs to go back to his vest. Where can they find y'all at? You know, Chico, go first.
So you can find me on Instagram at ChicoSSX1. A lot of my photography work is on there. And I also am a full-time LA film student. So if I'm not on here with these guys on, you know, when we do our thing, I'm usually shooting. But yeah, you can check me out on Instagram, Facebook at Jonna and Chico. And yeah, pretty much that's it.
What you got, Geek Squire?
You can find me TikTok, YouTube, kinda, Tumblr, kinda, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. You can find me on pretty much all social media under Geek Squire. Also, shout out to the award-winning D&D podcast, D&D Dorks, for this lovely hoodie. We Kill Giants from their award-winning.
I've been looking at that hoodie the whole time. I was looking at it.
From their award-winning campaign, the Tales of Kazalor. You can find them on TikTok. I would say you can get this off their shop, off of the D&D Dorks or Nathan Apollo shop, but you can't. This was over. I got the last one. I'm sorry.
I didn't know if that was going to be a D&D hoodie or if it was like a metalcore band, because that's very metalcore band.
It's actually almost both, because Nathan Apollo is also the musician for the Tales of Kazalor campaign. Also award-winning Nathan Apollo from Tales of Kazalor. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. Support them so you can get beautiful merch like this. I'm not rubbing my nipples, don't worry.
Nipples are very close to each other then.
The nipples over here. They're over here.
And that damn dandy. That damn Bradley.
Yeah. I guess you can, if you want. If you want to follow me on X, you can at that damn Bradley, but don't follow me. Because I don't really do anything. I don't really do anything. I've wanted to do stuff for a while, but it's just like, no, and I want to stay off Twitter as long as I possibly can, because I hate that site. I hate that site with a passion.
So much porn.
And a lot of very bad opinions. A lot of shit takes on that.
Yeah.
That's why I usually block them. I usually just block them and move on.
I just don't even pull up the app.
I don't have it anymore.
I'm like, meh. It's there. I'm like, eh.
And like he said, there's a lot of other things on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of other things. It's great times.
It's good
great
stuff.
times. I'm very single. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna lie to you, my boys and girls, and non-binaries. Your boy is still looking. It's Fat Boy season. I am taking applications. My DMs are open.
And you can find me on the socials and the all the stuff below. You see the. I just want to get out of here because he just made this take a whole other level.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yes,
that's what I do. I got a lot left in the tank.
So thank you guys for watching this. However you digesting this episode, either audio wise or visually. Thank you for taking the time out to listen. So hit the comments below. If you got a friend that know a friend that's single,
subscribe.
Let them know that Brian is single and he's ready to mingle.
I am scared.
This was the Bad Blood recap. Remember, bear it all, be yourself. This is the BearatNight podcast. We out of here.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Oh, for the love of God.
Listening to BearatNight podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.